1. EV sales dip in Q2 2025. Tax credit deadline looms. What's next for electric vehicles? 2. Why now is the best time to buy an EV? Q3 sales surge ahead. 1. EV sales dip in Q2 2025. Tax credit deadline looms. What's next for electric vehicles? Recent figures from Cox Automotive's Kelley Blue Book team reveal an unexpected drop in electric vehicle EV sales in Q2 of 2025, a surprising twist in what has been a record-breaking year so far. With just 310,839 new EVs sold in the U.S., marking a 6.3% decrease from the previous year, the market seems to be facing significant challenges. However, the total number of EVs sold in the first half of 2025 reached an all-time high of 607,089, representing a 1.5% increase from the same period last year. Stephanie Valdez-Streety, a senior analyst at Cox Automotive, explains that the year-over-year decline in Q2 was only the third decline on record, indicating a more mature market. She adds that the increase from Q1 could be a precursor to a surge in sales before the federal incentive phase-out takes effect, providing a temporary boost in an otherwise uncertain environment. As government incentives are set to expire in September and economic pressures intensify, the second half of the year will serve as a critical test for EV demand. According to Streety, Q3 will likely see record sales, followed by a sharp decline in Q4 as the electric vehicle market adjusts to its new reality without subsidies. Despite healthy inventory levels, numerous new models, and attractive sales incentives, EV sales in Q2 were lower year over year. In fact, sales incentives last quarter exceeded 10% of the average transaction price, ADP, reaching an all-time high of 14.8% in June, equivalent to nearly $8,500 per vehicle. In the U.S. EV market, General Motors and Tesla have emerged as the two major players in the first half of 2025. GM, after experiencing some delays, has finally launched a robust lineup of EVs across its Cadillac, Chevrolet, and GMC brands. The company sold over 78,000 EVs in the first half of 2025, more than double the volume recorded in 2024. Chevrolet has become the second best-selling EV brand in the U.S., surpassing both Ford and Hyundai, contributing to GM's 12.9% share of total EV sales and solidifying its position as the second-largest EV player, trailing only Tesla. However, Tesla has faced challenges, with its sales declining by more than 12% year-over-year in Q2, following a 9% decrease in Q1. This has led to a reduction in Tesla's share of total U.S. sales, 3.4%, and its share of the EV market, 44.7%, year-to-date in 2025. The highly competitive EV market has provided little relief for the struggling automaker. As we enter Q3, a significant shift in the EV market dynamics is anticipated. The government-backed tax incentives of up to $7,500 for qualified new EV purchases will be eliminated on October 1st. The popular leasing loophole, which expanded the pool of eligible sales, will also be terminated, and funding for essential infrastructure improvements has been reduced. In the U.S., the used EV market is rapidly gaining traction. Retail used EV sales exceeded 100,000 units in Q2, setting a new record, and growth is accelerating. Although government incentives for used EVs have been discontinued, Cox Automotive research indicates that only around one-third of used EVs qualified for the incentive anyway. With increasing availability and declining incentives for new EVs, the used EV market may experience even faster growth in the coming quarters. Cox Automotive maintains its belief that new EV sales will continue to rise in the U.S., albeit at a slower pace than previously anticipated. The forecast for total new EV sales in the U.S. in 2025 has been revised downward from approximately a 10% share of total sales at the end of the year to an 8.5% share, with volume expected to remain unchanged year over year. Meanwhile, China, the global leader in EVs, continues to dominate the international automotive landscape. In the first half of 2025, over 3 million EVs were sold in China, with exports accelerating at a rapid pace. 2. Why now is the best time to buy an EV? Q3 sales surge ahead. Electric vehicle market poised for Q3 surge as Trump's budget legislation threatens to end financial incentives. The clock is ticking for potential EV buyers. That's the urgent message Ford is communicating amidst a wave of electric vehicle promotions across the industry before tax credits on EV purchases and leases vanish on September 30th. The automotive giant has recently prolonged its Ford Power Promise initiative through September's end, a program designed to simplify the transition to electric driving by offering complimentary home charging equipment and installation services to new EV customers. Considering everything happening in the marketplace right now, including our own promotional offers and the still available tax credits for certain vehicles, consumers should really take advantage of this moment to maximize their savings. Stacy Ferreira, Ford's Director of U.S. Sales Strategy, explained to Tech Brew. The policy shift. On July 4th, President Donald Trump enacted the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, which eliminates electric vehicle tax incentives previously established by the 2022 Inflation Reduction Act. These soon-to-disappear benefits include a substantial $7,500 tax credit for qualifying new electric vehicle purchases, a $4,000 credit for eligible used EVs, and what industry insiders call the leasing loophole that enables manufacturers to transfer incentives to models that wouldn't otherwise qualify for direct credits. EV incentives were already reaching unprecedented levels. According to Cox Automotive, June saw average EV incentives hit a record-breaking 14.8% of the typical transaction price. Following disappointing Q2 electric vehicle sales, industry experts anticipate a significant Q3 uptick as consumers interested in transitioning to electric mobility rush to secure financial advantages before they disappear. But here's where it gets interesting. What happens after this artificial deadline? With government incentives scheduled to terminate in September and increasing economic pressures, the latter half of this year will critically test genuine EV demand, noted Stephanie Valdez-Streety, senior analyst at Cox, in an official statement. We'll likely witness record-breaking sales in Q3, followed by a dramatic decline in Q4 as the electric vehicle market adjusts to its new financial reality. Shopping opportunities. July's standout electric vehicle lease arrangements include the Hyundai Kona EV available for just $189 monthly, according to U.S. News and World Report. Luxury brand Lexus is promoting interest-free financing on its electric RZ model, while consumers can secure a 2025 Kia Niro EV lease for an astonishingly low $129 monthly on a 2-year agreement. General Motors isn't being left behind, offering 0% interest for 60-month financing terms on Chevy Equinox EV purchases. Nothing currently beats leasing an electric vehicle from a financial perspective, Ivan Drury, Director of Insights at Edmunds, told Tech Brew. You can easily drive away in a vehicle with an MSRP $15,000 to $20,000 higher than its internal combustion equivalent, yet potentially enjoy identical or even lower monthly payments. Although Drury hasn't observed many manufacturers explicitly using the impending tax credit expiration in their marketing campaigns, he anticipates more aggressive promotional strategies as September approaches. However, he cautions consumers against waiting. If you're thinking, I'd love to grab that $150 per month Equinox EV deal, you should act immediately rather than delay. Program extension. Ford's Power Promise program remains available to retail customers purchasing or leasing new 2024/2025 Mustang Mach-E models, 2025 F-150 Lightning trucks, or 2024/2025 E-Transit cargo vans through participating Ford dealerships. We asked ourselves how we could make the transition to electric driving extraordinarily straightforward for our customers, Ferreira explained. Since the program's October launch, Ford has successfully installed over 10,000 home charging systems. While Ferreira clarified that extending the program wasn't specifically timed to coincide with the tax credit termination, she anticipates heightened Q3 sales and expects many undecided consumers to commit to electric vehicles before October 1st arrives. We'll definitely see people wanting to secure their vehicles before the tax credit disappears, she stated. We're optimistic about Q3 performance and expect robust sales figures. What's your take on these disappearing EV incentives? Will you be rushing to take advantage of these deals before they vanish? Or do you think electric vehicles should succeed without government subsidies? The debate around EV incentives remains highly contentious. Share your thoughts in the comments below.